Kyiv confirms Black Sea Fleet attack, warns Moscow of more surprises.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ukraine carried out a successful drone attack on Russia's Black Sea Fleet in occupied Crimea on Friday, killing and wounding several dozen Russian servicemen and damaging ammunition dumps and storage facilities, Kyiv Post has been told. Russian officials tried to play down the attack, and Kremlin information platforms claimed 42 aircraft were shot down and Russian facilities and personnel were not hurt. According to Kyiv Post sources in the Security Service of Ukraine, a special military counterintelligence operation of the SBU and Armed Forces of Ukraine targeted the 126th Brigade of the Russian Black Sea Fleet. The SBU source told Kyiv Post that Russian forces were completely unprepared for such a special operation, and an unspecified number of drones managed to bypass all enemy defense systems. On August 23, according to official Kyiv reports, Ukrainian naval units fired a Neptune cruise missile from an undisclosed location to strike and destroy a Russian 48Y6K-1 Podlet air reconnaissance radar, the main air surveillance system for Russia's top-of-the-line S-400 Triumph anti-aircraft missile. Mick Ryan, a retired Australian Major General and veteran Ukraine watcher, in comment to Kyiv Post said that Kyiv has likely embarked on a systematic campaign to degrade Russian air defences in Crimea, with the additional political goal of maintaining pressure on Kremlin leadership, and forcing Moscow to choose between reinforcing the peninsula or the front lines, where Russian soldier morale is falling and the AFU is attacking. The other political imperative is to communicate to Ukraine's supporters that there is more to their 2023 campaigns than just the southern front. Militarily, the Ukrainians have been isolating Crimea with multiple bridge strikes. But more importantly, they are putting the Russians in a dilemma and forcing the Russians to make tough choices about deployment of forces in Crimea and other places.
This post received a score of 11,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Putin never thought in his wildest dreams that when he invaded Ukraine all this would happen. He thought it would all be over in a few days, and now it's turned into his biggest nightmare, and it will lead eventually to his demise.
It's worth noting how all of the Russian soldiers in the initial push after February 24, 2022 were super well dressed and even had parade and riot control equipment loaded with them. They really did think it would be like walking into Crimea all over again. Now the average Russian soldier looks like a homeless person with gear from the 50s and 60s.
Captured Russian soldiers said they were not equipped with more than 3 days of food or a more. They truly thought they would just walk into victory.
When Zelensky made his speech during the invasion, many countries were offering him safe haven. He comes back with, "I do not need a damn ride? What I need is ammunition?" The collective Russian military butthole likely got very tight.
Ukraine is really proving the effectiveness of small-scale drones. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a major shift in all theaters of combat around these. Imagine a blue water naval battle, not with aircraft and missiles flying around, but hundreds of drones swarming.
Carrier has arrived.
For IOR.
Good job from Ukraine. More surprises for Russia.
And these surprises will keep coming.
And they don't stop coming. Back to the oblast and hit the ground running.
I doubt the effectiveness of sea drones is being lost on the Taiwanese. The window China has to invade is closing.
The window hasn't opened yet, and this development complicates its opening even further. Taiwan is not the only one taking notes. North Korea also noticed that drones can be extremely helpful in a conflict and decided a few days ago to develop a branch of its military to it. I think this is a big win for every small country on Earth. Drones are making accessible for everyone to push back if they get invaded.
The bigger countries are also taking notes. If the smaller nation can do it, the bigger nation can copy the idea X10. The reason why Ukraine can do this is because of the NATO lifeline. They wouldn't have the capability to go on the offensive against their bigger enemy otherwise. Not to say that their military isn't amazing with how they're pushing forward, but if they didn't have the strongest military alliance in the world helping them, they simply would not have had the means to make it this far.
What makes it good for smaller nations is the relative low cost of drones. It would be cheap to be a nuisance to an invading army.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.